And I think we're live. Let's see. Yeah, we're live. Just 1 second. Let me pull this up on my end. Hopefully everybody, there we are. There I am. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Okay. And we'll get going on our live stream here. Because it's Wednesday, and what do we do on Wednesday? We go live. And how's it going, everybody? Oh, there's an echo. Oh wait, hold on. I think I know. There we go. Did I fix the echo? Thank you. I rely on you guys telling me these things ahead of time so that we can fix it. Hopefully it's all fixed. No more echo. Wednesdays I wear pink. Oh my God, I forgot. Do I have anything that's pink? I don't think I do. Echo is fixed. Okay. Anyway, welcome. It's Wednesday. I don't really have anything prepared to talk about, but we can do a Q&A. And I may or may not have like something prepared for later on. I'm not going to say how much later, but I don't know. I've been really thinking about like the old vegan zombie videos. Remember John? Do you guys remember John back in the day when the guy that was the chef of the vegan zombie videos years and years ago? Do you guys remember that guy? Anyway, I have him here with me today, and we're going to do a live stream. So, welcome, John. Welcome to they can see you now.
Oh, I'm glad I have my clothes on.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Chris, I want to say, first of all, I'm a huge fan of you and what you do, and thanks for having me on the show.
Well, first off, I think I'm a fan of peanut butter cups, the vegan ones, and I know you are too.
Yeah, you got peanut butter cups?
I'm out. Actually, there might be one left. The pumpkin peanut butter cups. Did you try those, by the way?
No, I didn't. Wait. So you're telling me that I was at your house yesterday and you had pumpkin peanut butter cups and you didn't give me one?
I totally forgot. Yeah, I think there was one left, and you could have totally have it. You could have totally had it.
Dang it.
So yeah. Anyway, so this is John. Everybody knows John. Just like everybody loves Raymond, everybody knows John. I don't know if they love him, but for those of you who don't know who John is, where have you been? But anyway, John was the face of the vegan zombie when we first started the channel, almost 13 years ago. So we're going on.
Wow, it's been a long time.
Yeah, long time. And John, he was actually just over at my house yesterday. We were trying to fix some things at the homestead, right? The safe house.
The old homestead.
The old one, yeah.
You're going to need to make a video where you leave that behind, I think.
You know what? Yeah, I probably will. But it's like whenever we start trying to fix stuff at this house, it's like one step forward, two steps back.
That especially when it comes to me helping you out. Well, I fixed this one thing, but I broke 4 things in the process.
If anybody saw my Instagram story yesterday, you'll see there was a big hole in the wall in the kitchen going outside. And Zeke was more than happy to oblige being in that little short story. But yeah, how was it driving home with the headlight problem?
Okay, so it gets darker way faster than I thought. So I'm like, I texted Kristen. I'm like, I'm gonna send you my location. I might need you to like come get me, and we have to leave the Jeep overnight. But I had a screwdriver. I do not recommend doing this ever, Chris. So the blinker handle completely broke off. There's just a little wire hanging out, and then it's just my steering wheel and the little box thing in front of it. So you're just driving, and it's getting dark out, and all that's like illuminating right now are my the two, like, what are they? They're not
the fog lights.
The fog light, not even the fog lights. They're the two. Are the yellow lights the fog lights?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So just that is lit, and it's getting real dark out. So I take this little screwdriver that I had I don't know why I had a screwdriver in the driver's side window, or the thing, the little on the side of the door there, little pocket there. Pull that out. I'm like jamming it in the side. I'm like, maybe I can put it in this little thing and twist it. and I twisted it just right, and the lights flickered on and off. I'm like, oh, and I did it again, and they stayed on. I'm like, oh my God.
You don't need to take your car in to get fixed.
No,
you can do it yourself with a screwdriver and duct
Janitor
tape.
John fixed it himself.
Janitor John. Let me, just because you're over on this screen and I'm looking over here to see you, but to them, it looks like I'm looking the other direction. I'm just going to go ahead.
Go ahead and move me. Why don't you go ahead and move me over here?
Oh, and then where's John? Grab John. John over there.
Oh, that's fun. We're on the train tracks.
We are, yes.
Look at that. Oh, where'd you go, buddy? I'm on top of you. Ooh!
There we go. Okay, that's better. Now I can look over here, and it looks like I'm talking to you that way. Anyway,
I don't like how much bigger I am than you. Let's change that.
Well, that's because of the way you're.
I'm gonna zoom out. I'm zooming out. I'm zooming out.
Yeah, zoom out a little bit. But the way I have it, like there we go.
There we go.
Your palm trees and the planet Earth.
Yep. Ground control to
Janitor John.
Dude, I sang that song to you last night, and it got stuck in your head. And I was trying to re-sing it today, and I couldn't remember it. So we should have recorded it, buddy.
Janitor John. So yeah, we got a few things done in my house. I'm really excited to move in the other house, but I still don't have a closing date. So who knows when that's going to happen? I'm just trying to be ready to move into the new house, and then the videos are going to start popping out everywhere. I'm just kind of like in a standstill right now. How about you? What's new over at your homestead?
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that because I feel like I was heading in one direction, and then I moved here. Yeah, exactly. I moved here, and I totally stalled like what I was doing on YouTube. Just because trying to get set up at the farm, trying to like get this place livable. So I get that feeling of like being kind of like stuck. Although I should be filming way more stuff, I'm kind of busy at the farm like every day. And it's really hard to have a tool in one hand and a camera in another hand. You know what I'm saying?
It is. It's hard to have a camera in one hand even when you're just cooking. Like last night, I was making pizza, and I'm like, the counter was a mess and everything. And I'm like, I don't feel like taking out the cameras and the lighting and do like a YouTube video. So I'm like, I'll just do a TikTok video. And I just took my phone and I just filmed I put it all together, and I think it came out pretty good. But like, I don't think people realize when you want to make a video, when you're really hungry and you're like, well, I'm actually going to make a video while I'm making dinner, and everything's got to be perfect. And like, it's just, Chris, as much work.
I was wondering, just for like streaming purposes, if we wanted to do like cooking classes together, what if we hooked up in the new house? I was thinking about doing this in my kitchen too, just some sort of bars or something that we can hang cameras and have a couple of different cameras that are like motion. That's some real technology though you're dealing with.
I'd love to do something like that where it's just in there and you don't have to like lug it around every time you want to make a video.
Oh, I know. I mean, because you could just make a video anytime you're in the kitchen, right? I mean, tonight what I'm going to make for dinner is this.
Right.
But it's getting all the stuff together. It's a nightmare. I left my camera outside because I was in the garden today, and it's hard bringing that tripod in the dark. You're tripping over stuff.
It is. For me, when I do a video in the kitchen, first off, I got to make sure the kitchen is like,
full of
totally clean. Everything's clean. You got the dishes out of the background. Everything looks nice for like, a really nice ambient zombie apocalypse. By the way, that over in the corner, it's been known, it's like the trademark vegan zombie thing in my kitchen. It's got tape over, the stove. And that was just a really old vent that came with the house that I had no idea how to fix. And it would stay open, so you'd get a draft coming outside all year long. So instead of like trying to fix it because I have no idea how to do it, for all these years I've lived in my house, I just taped over it. And, I'm just like, well, we can just play that into the zombie apocalypse. Like, I got into this kitchen and we had to duct tape it and board things up. But it's been like that. And then John came over yesterday. I'm like, do you think we could pull that out of there and fix it? So for the next couple hours, we proceeded to do that. And now there's a hole in the wall, but it's boarded up.
I
it looks a
boarded it
little
up.
bit different and maybe a little bit better, but also not really that good yet.
It's still very
And of course, it
zombie
rained last
apocalypse.
night too.
Yeah, I know. Of
So
course it did. That's
yeah,
okay though. What's one rainstorm gonna do? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, just like make it all soggy inside my house. But anyway, yeah. So in order to do a video, like I got to pull out that island thing after everything's clean, pull out my lights, set them up, pull out the tripod. I usually use 2 tripods. I use the main one, which this camera, I have to unhook it, bring it downstairs, put it up there. And then I have like an overhead tripod, like a bird's eye view that I usually hook my cell phone to. And then so I have 2 cameras at the same time, one bird's eye view and one straight on to me. I like it better when there's somebody to film, and I haven't had that in so long. That's how I used to film you. I mean,
Yeah.
you know better than anyone. I would just be like, all right, we got this angle over here. I can move, pan in, whatever I wanted to do. And my last video that I did around Halloween, and I actually had Craig for the first time help me do that. So he did what I did with you, and that was awesome having that. I forget how awesome that was and how helpful it is. Because otherwise, I just have a tripod to be like, all right, stationary view here, bird's eye view up here. And it's not as, I don't like it as good.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's all of the recipe videos that I post on the Vegan Homestead, they just lack something. They definitely lack something. They lack that Chris Cooney flair, that pizzazz, that camera work. And like just having the tripod, it's awfully hard because it's not like, it was really easy with you because I was just trying to make you laugh on the other side of the camera. When there's just me talking to a tripod, the energy is just different itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like after a while, like it just got, I was spoiled knowing that the camera was going to be right up in my face when I needed it to be, or when I didn't want it to be as well. I mean, of course.
Well, for example, like when I was doing like the TikTok video last night, I was dicing up some veggies, like a tomato and an onion, and then I wanted a shot where, I pull up that cutting board and I take the knife and I kind of slide it into the bowl, but you need 2 hands to do that because I got the phone recording it that I just had to dump it in and just be like pretend I had another hand, but I didn't.
What if
God was one
of us? No, what if you okay, so you got your hat on. Let's just pretend that this is a phone. You've got a hat that's tight enough that you put here. I've got 2 hands, and you look down while you're cooking. And then what do you think about that?
Well, actually, I think you're onto something. They have those camera glasses
that just came out, right?
Well, I don't know if they just came out, but
yeah, they've been out for thousands of years. I'm sorry.
Thousands, yeah. Stupid. I think dinosaurs used to have them. But anyway, these glasses with the video, if it's a good enough quality footage, then I could just put those on while I'm looking down and take them off. Or maybe I could just wear glasses from now on when I'm on the show. Hopefully they look nice, and then I'm filming you, you're filming me, and hey, every time I look down, you're looking down.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
We could have some serious fun with those. You know what we should do? We should play hide and seek because we're in our 40s.
Oh my God, live stream?
Live stream hide and seek. No, not hide and seek. Laser tag. Dude.
Does anybody even remember laser tag and Photon back in the day?
What's that? Photon. What is that?
Photon was just like laser tag, but out of the 2, laser tag won and became like the name brand.
Oh, Photon was
Photon came out at the same time.
It was like, so Photon was like Burger King and McDonald's.
Yeah.
Okay. Photon was the McDonald's. Well, no, because they both kind of made it, and Photon died away. Is there a Burger chain that just didn't make it? Well, I'm going too far into this metaphor.
There probably
laser tag is fun though. Let's get stuff. Let's get into laser. Dude, let's start a laser tag crew. Everybody, we're going over to Chris Cooney's house.
My brother had all the laser tag stuff.
Which brother?
Pat. I mean, Brian was too young.
Yeah.
We're
Brian
talking
was
about early 80s when you and Brian were just little criers.
We were just little pants peers.
Oh my God, time just flies, doesn't it?
Yeah, and like we were down here, and we grew all the way up here, and we graduated.
We graduated.
And now I'm gonna be 40 next month.
Nobody knows that reference except for maybe one other person, maybe Brian. That was my dad. My dad said that on John's graduation, which was 21 years. Wow. That doesn't seem like that long ago.
I graduated from high school 21 years ago.
Hey, Laura. Yeah, we could totally do a whole live stream talking about like growing up in the 80s.
Well, I guess it is growing up in the 80s.
You know, you're not that much younger than me now that I think about it, but like growing up, you seem so much younger than me.
Yeah, no, like 2 years apart when you're young is a long time. Like I was like, wow, Brian's brother Chris has been vegan for 2 years.
Yeah, when I was 19, I remember I had already graduated from high school. I was just being a jerk around the house, trying to be cool. And you and Brian were just like little kids in probably middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. It just seems like so long ago. But now it's like 81 and 76. That's not very far apart.
It's not that bad. No, we're like the same age now. We somehow over time I got older than you.
You got older than me.
I'm older and wiser, young man. Hey, can we talk more about laser tag?
Yeah, laser tag.
I'm gonna go on YouTube. I'm gonna go on Google and just see how much that equipment is. Maybe we can get somebody to buy it.
Back then it wasn't that much. Now, if you want the original, it's probably a lot of money.
Well, no, I want the updated version. I want to be able to snipe.
It sucked too. Like it never really worked right. It's like you're standing right next to each other and you're both firing like boom, boom, point blank, and nobody can get each other out. It's like your batteries are dead. You're covering it up. Oh man.
80s. Let's go back. Let's talk about the 80s for a minute. I don't have a lot of memories of the 80s, except for my brother used to listen to a lot of the 80s music. He had Ozzy Osbourne CD.
Okay.
But also Genesis. Yep.
Quiet Riot.
Mariah Carey. No, maybe he didn't have the Mariah Carey one.
We're thinking about a little bit later on.
Yeah, that was 90s. Anyway, I'm gonna look up laser tag stuff. So hang on. Laser tag equipment. This would be really fun, Chris. We can have vegan hot dogs at your house. Party at Chris's house.
You know what I was actually just thinking is I moved to Florida 26 years ago, 2 days ago, like November 8th. I moved to Florida in 1995.
Wow, that's weird.
I moved on my own. That's when I decided to leave home as a teenager. I had already graduated high school, and I'm like, 1 year later, I stayed with my parents for another year, and then I'm like, I'm off to go live on my own. And then I experienced I became what I was about to become. Trying to, put the Interview with the Vampire in there. But, and then, coincidentally, not even trying to make it happen, I ended up moving back 2 years later to the day, November 8th, 1997, I moved back. Isn't that crazy?
That is
I didn't
crazy.
intend it, but it happened.
We didn't really start hanging out until like 99, right?
No, 2000.
Was
I
it
refused
2000?
to hang out with you guys because I just thought it wasn't
You're
right
like,
for
I'm
me to be
too
hanging out
old,
with
dude.
my brothers,
my little
friends
brother.
in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can respect that.
And then we hung out in the summer of 2000 when you guys graduated high school, and you guys had a set group of friends. And I had already gone through it like 5 years prior, so I knew that all my set group of friends had said we'd never not be friends and we'd always be tight and close-knit. Well, that never happened. That became some big, fantasy that never happened. So I was kind of jaded at that point, and I said that I was going to record your guys' summer because I had the camcorder. So I was going to record your guys' summer, and you guys said, we're always going to go, no, that's not what happens. You're like, well, not us. And sure enough, now we know that, I was right, unfortunately. But I got everything on video that summer. And then at the end of the summer, when everybody went off to college or whatever they were doing, I burned a CD. I did an edit back in 2000. I made an edit and I called it Summer of 2000. And I burned a DVD for each one of us. And I just passed them around. And you guys, I don't know if you still have it, but I still have it somewhere.
I still have it.
And,
I have it.
Yeah,
it's upstairs.
And it's our whole summer. I just recorded everything for you guys.
Let's pop it in.
Probably have to go look through it before we actually
we have to like go through and edit it all out.
Yeah. But yeah, we should do that sometime. You had a full set of hair. We did that scary movie with Dan.
We did that scary movie at a house that I was staying at. Like I was watching somebody's house and I had a party there. Like what was I thinking? That's crazy. Don't you think?
That is crazy. We had a whole party there.
I want to get back to this real quick and just give you some numbers. It looks like we can spend, we spend about $200 or $150. We can get ourselves 4 laser tag guns, dude. And Linda had a good point in the chat. She said, I do have a tree house here. It would be kind of more fun here.
You do have a tree
I just don't have as many acres as you do. So
yeah, but mine are mostly like forest.
Exactly.
Climbing trees. Boop, boop, boop.
Yep. We could do some really, really fun zombie movies there for sure.
Genesis says, y'all heard of Happy Cow? They're doing a logo competition and the winner gets $2,000. Yeah, I actually know the guys from Happy Cow. I was actually just talking to one of the co-founders back in Vegandale, which was just a couple months ago.
Did we stay with somebody that worked for Happy Cow? Okay.
I think it was Kevin.
Okay. I that was years ago.
That was when we went to California. I think the first time we went and we stayed with a random person that said, you can stay with us the first night. It was one of those like early on like house surfing things.
I hated that stuff.
I did too. It just felt so weird. Like we didn't know.
No idea where we were staying.
I'm like, I'm just going to go lay on the floor and go to sleep until it's time to wake up and then I'll leave.
It was even crazier though when we did that in Germany.
Yeah, it was. Chris,
remember, like we stayed at this one girl's house and she's like, okay, one of you can sleep over here on the couch and one of you can sleep in bed with me.
Oh, I remember that one. That was in Munich.
Yeah.
No.
It
was in Hamburg. It was wherever we went, and we actually did a tour of the town before we left.
Yeah, it was I think it was Hamburg because it was by some body of water for sure.
And we went to this old church that was hundreds of years old that had the original Martin Luther. It was hundreds of years old.
Martin Luther was actually in there?
No, it was a statue.
I'm just kidding. No,
he wasn't. Well, he might have been.
He could have been inside the statue. What if he was one of the guys from the Ghostbusters that turned into the
There you
stone?
go. Now you're thinking.
Anyway, that was more scary.
What are we even talking about anymore?
Because I don't speak German.
Eichhörnchen.
Yep, squirrel.
That's all we learned. Well, we learned some bad words too. We can't say them. We kept just saying, yeah. And then we were at Justin's and we're staying there and I'm like, everything's cool. I'm in my comfort zone. And he's like, you both can't stay here, Chris. I got a neighbor down the street that you're going to stay at, some random girl.
Oh my.
I'm like, no, you can't do this to me. Justin, no. He's like, come on, we're going. I'm like, what are you doing? I don't want to stay at some stranger's house. I want to stay here. And then he brought me over and I stayed in some random person's house.
Was this the same one that I
and then
was
you
with
came
you,
over
right?
the next day. Yeah.
Okay. That was that was funny.
Yeah, we slept.
We all ended up like laying in bed together, but just just hanging out and talking, not like.
I don't remember where we were.
I was in the middle.
Remember, we were in Cologne for one night, just spending the night there, and we slept on some really comfortable, really hardwood floors. That's what we did like the whole time was hardwood floors.
It was seriously like being in a hardcore band on tour overseas. It was awesome.
Yeah. But we had a ton of fun and we were sleep deprived. And we drove on the Autobahn at like 150 miles an hour. No, we were going a little bit less than that. But like Lamborghinis were going by us doing like 200.
That whole trip was just like a blur to me.
Good thing I recorded it and vlogged it. For anybody that wants to go watch it.
Yeah, I actually saw one of those videos pop up the other day. I was like, that was fun.
Yeah, that was our book tour. That's when our book first came out. That was 2013 or 14. 14. Wow, that was 7 years ago. Wow, that was so fun. I had never traveled like to Europe before until Vegan Zombie. So I owe a lot to Vegan Zombie because I really never traveled anywhere except for up and down the East Coast.
You know, I feel like there were several times where you were like, "Yo, dude, do you want to fly out to this place?" I'm like, "I can't. I have to work. I can't do this on that short notice."
I know.
Man, I should have just done it.
We would have done so much more, except for at that point, I was just the invisible guy behind the camera. So nobody knew who I was anyway. So I relied solely on you, and whatever your schedule was, I was like, all right, we're doing this if you can do it. And like,
That's
so,
annoying.
I mean, I guess that was like a good thing when I started taking over because like I only had me to, I'm the only one that had to make the decisions at that point. But yeah, Monica says that we should all show up for laser tag dressed in full zombie costumes.
Oh my gosh, that would be a lot
That
of
would be
fun.
awesome. Yeah, they have those. I don't know if it's laser tag, but it's like they have like runs, like 5K runs where you got to run.
Oh
And the
yeah, they
zombies,
had one in Salem, didn't they? When we were down there, or was that a different thing?
a
They
zombie.
had like a
Oh yeah,
zombie walk.
this one was like it was like zombie tag or something. Like they had to, if they grabbed like certain like ribbons off you or something, you were like dead.
That's fun.
You tried the Miyoko's Genesis, yeah. I actually did a whole video on margarita pizza because it's like my favorite pizza. But yeah, and the Miyoko's is amazing for that. And I also have some fresh basil downstairs. But I made pizza last night, so not tonight.
That looked good. Kristen made beefless stew tonight.
Beefless stew. I
It
had
was
a little bit of
really good.
beefless. Did you have like? Was there just no like imitation beef, or was it
Yeah, actually, I think she got the Gardein beefless
nice?
tips.
I had a little. I had a banh mi from Noodle House.
Nice.
Yeah.
The one right in Liverpool. They have a
Yep.
lot more.
No, it's not in Liverpool. It's in North Syracuse.
Oh, I don't know why I was thinking. I was thinking there's one in North
Camillus.
Syracuse, and then Camillus.
Yeah.
The one in Camillus
We
has.
went there and I won.
I won.
You're like anybody but Chris.
Yeah, you won.
Yeah.
The whole thing was rigged, I think.
No, I just bought more tickets. I donated more
You
money, I
donated
guess.
more money to Mockingbird.
Yeah, for sure. Miyoko's mozzarella it's one of the best vegan cheeses out there. They all have their purpose, I think, for certain things. Like, I mean, for that, I would say follow the instructions that I do in my video for the best results for it, and it will melt good and it will taste good. It still doesn't really stretch like the animal cheese. I think they're working on that kind of thing. But as far as melted on pizza, I think it's probably the best out there. But then there's like other, like if you want like cheese slices for sandwiches, I would go with either Good Planet, Chow, Violife, and Follow Your Heart. They're all really good. And they're all made by the same company, so they're all going to taste similar. They're all made by Violife. And I don't know what else to say about that. It's just they got a lot of good cheeses from now than what they had back when we first went vegan. Do you
Yeah, for
remember
sure.
over at your old house, the landlord house, and I would pick up before I came over the tofutti single slices, and I would chop them up really thin, and I'd sprinkle them all over the pizza like shreds, and that's how we would eat pizza at that point, and it was
Yeah,
really good.
yeah. Actually, my favorite thing that I got from you though was the taking the tofutti cream cheese. You remember this?
Yeah, because that's how I would make the stuffed broccoli and spinach pizza. You put the cream cheese down first.
It's
It sounds weird.
so no, it's
Yeah.
so good. Like when you do like a vegan ham and pineapple and like do a real funky pizza and you put that tofutti cream cheese on there with I mean even barbecue sauce like that cream cheese adds such a delicious
Yeah.
I don't know texture I guess That's good. Good stuff, Chris. Thanks.
It's real good. The tofu cream cheese is still like my favorite. Am I too loud? I just realized I have the microphone right there. And is there like a subtle peak? I hope not. I can't I like to have good audio.
You need to have good You need good audio.
I was just listening to Coheed today.
Were you?
I was listening to some rare ones like Cassiopeia, and also, okay, it's called Elf Power. Now, why when you Google it, are they all Elf Tower? I swear it's Elf Power. And if you look at some of them say Elf Power and some of them say Elf Tower, but it's definitely Elf Power.
Interesting.
Yeah. If anybody knows Coheed, rare songs.
Do you, so I like to go back to pre-Coheed stuff.
Oh.
I'm talking Shabooti. I'm talking Prize Fighter Inferno.
New Jersey bound.
What do you think of this background, Chris?
It looks like you're in a very dismal city and a nice little office.
Yeah, I mean, today we're at the office. We're going to be talking about different cheese platters and what kind of grapes go with them. Oh, somebody's in your house, Tris. I just heard.
Oh, they said John's louder than me.
Oh, hang on. Okay.
How do I even?
Well, I can adjust that on my end.
Can you? Okay, great. Yeah. That'd be awesome.
All right.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe because I moved the microphone too far away. Hello.
Someone's in the house.
Is there anybody out there?
It's kind of echoey. It sounds cool.
The sound is fine and balanced. Okay, so now I don't even know what's going on.
You know what my mom used to say?
AJ says, I feel like we're eavesdropping on Chris and John's convo. I mean, we could do that. We could just have a convo all the time. It's like, I mean, isn't that how podcasts are anyway? It's like, we're just talking to each other. We're just a couple of dudes talking to each other.
We're just two guys and we're having a good time. That's it.
Having a good time. But then you give us the questions here. But sometimes when it's just me and John talking, we don't even need questions. We just start talking and
we'll just talk about anything. You guys want to talk about sandals? Chris, do you ever wear sandals? You don't strike me as a sandal guy.
No, but I just found some cleaning my house and I just was like, these have cobwebs. I threw them away. Because I only really found one. I couldn't find both of them. I threw so much away. I had to. We had a dumpster in the yard and I had to get rid of so many. I keep everything. So it was really hard for me to throw away if some of these things were total garbage, but at the same time, they were sentimental to me. And they brought memories back, and I'll never see them again because after 40 years, I threw it away. I threw it away. I had to get rid of it. I took pictures of some of them, but I'm like...
Well, you got to remember, you know what? I remember this when I threw it away.
Yeah. I actually posted one on our... I don't know if you're in it, but like our high school alum page.
No, I'm not in it, but
okay.
I'm in it. Somebody invited me in it, and
you should just do it. Just do it.
Okay, I'll do it.
I posted because I found a trophy from 1986 that I got when I was at the bowling league when I was like 10 years old, and it was always last place, but I posted a picture of it on there and it brought everybody. I'm like, does anybody remember? Because do you remember that mansion? Emerald City Lanes? It was a mansion. And we bowled there. And then they tore it down. It doesn't exist anymore. But that's the first place I saw Indiana Jones.
Where was this?
It's right at the end of Lake Street, heading Route 5, coming down from Lake Street.
Across the street from... Wait, where the bridge is?
So if you went out to Route 5 from Sherry's house and you took a right all the way down, it was all the way down by the Sun Chevrolet, where Sun Chevrolet is now. It was a bowling alley.
Oh, man.
And it was an awesome, scary-looking mansion.
What happened?
They tore it down.
There was a murder there?
Yeah, probably. They tore it down so they could make Sun Chevrolet.
I bought a car for Kristen there once.
I bought a car for me there once, twice.
We got a car together there. A Chevy. That's a pointless story, Chris. So why would you?
I got a Chevy too. I got a Chevy also. Yeah, the mansion was the main house, which it had a little arcade in it back then. So you had Super Mario Brothers and Double Dragon and
fun, dude,
and Street Fighter and stuff like that. And they had a pool table, and then they had a little bar, and then off to it, which was a separate building connected to the mansion, was a bowling alley. And we grew up in the small little town called Chittenango, New York, which claim to fame other than Dave Mirra was L. Frank Baum. And anybody that knows L. Frank Baum knows that L. Frank Baum wrote the very famous story, The Wizard of Oz. So everything in our town is Oz theme. We have yellow brick sidewalks, and that mansion was called Emerald City Lanes. And I actually filmed a video on Chittenango being the L. Frank Baum place with my dad earlier this spring, and I just haven't edited it yet because we were uncertain where the L. Frank Baum house was, and I filmed the wrong one, but I know where it is now. It's actually kind of near my parents' house, and you would never know it just looks like a normal house.
Weird. Good old Chittenango history. 13 Curves.
Well, no, that's up in Onondaga. That's 13 Curves is up going towards Nedrow.
Oh, what's the
You're talking about Gulf Road.
Gulf Road. That's right. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's there probably was 13 Curves there, but
no, you're right. 13 Curves was that was the wrong one. That's just Gulf Road is just called Gulf Road, where the Satan worshipers.
And Gulf Road as in GULF, Gulf Road.
Yeah, like engulfed in flames.
The big story was when we were little kids it was like where a bunch of devil worshipers were. That's what we, growing up in the 80s, that's what we all heard. Oh, you can't eat cashews because you're allergic. Hopefully you can eat other like walnuts, peanuts. There's a big walnut tree on the new property I'm moving to, and want to look into seeing if I can collect them all and eat them, if they're edible, if it's like the same walnut tree that I don't know anything about it. So
do you know if it's a black walnut tree?
It is, yeah.
Okay, so
are they
yes,
edible?
you can eat those. You don't eat the outer part, but you dry them out, and there's tons of YouTube videos on them.
Are they much like regular walnuts with the omegas and stuff like that, or no?
I don't really know the nutritional intake. Let me get back to you with my group of scientists.
Okay, great. Just calculate that
in. You have to be careful though. There are a lot of plants. There's some scientific facts here, Chris.
That will kill me.
A lot of plants don't like to grow around black walnut trees, so you don't want to plant your garden anywhere near that. Ooh. If you do, you're going to want to raise that bed. You know what I'm saying? You don't want, because the roots are toxic for for a lot of like garden vegetable plants.
Yeah, well, I would be down at the bottom of the hill. There's like an open stretch of field that I would probably be making the garden there. Probably
nice.
Place. Yeah.
How hard is it to get water down there?
That's the other thing. I kind of wanted to have like a little. I don't know how to do that. Like, I mean, maybe like a watering system. Didn't you say at one point you were trying to collect rain for that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, so I have some I have dead bodies in there now, but I have
great.
I have these big blue barrels. You ever see the movie Men at Work with Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez? Emilio.
You know what? I have seen Young Guns, so that's pretty much the same. They're both.
They're all the same. They're
brothers,
It was an awesome. First of all, you need to watch it. And
Men at Work.
You're welcome.
I know the band.
Anyway, they had like toxic waste in these barrels, and that's kind of, even though my barrels are for fresh rainwater,
right.
They kind of remind me of toxic waste barrels. Very pointless story, but anyway.
Yeah, me too.
I'll give you one of them, and we can drain the water from your. Do you have gutters at the new house?
3. Yeah, I think so. Yes. Let me look at the picture.
Okay.
I went there. It looks beautiful today. I went there today, and the foliage, the scenery, and I went there right before sunset, and just it looked like a Hallmark picture. I was like, I can't wait to be here. But I'm trying to see if there's gutters.
Gutters.
Get out of the gutter.
So
yeah, there is. There's gutters.
Okay, definitely. Cool. So we could collect the rainwater. We could just have one of the gutters drain right into a big 50-gallon murder barrel. Or do you actually said you had town water hooked up, right? You're not
No, well water.
Oh, you are hooked up to a well.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I hear that that's good because it's like, endless supply of water.
It's water that's comes from the ground right by your house, so that's kind of cool. I'm on
as long as
water
you have a generator, you'll always have access to water.
Generator, I just
John.
Sorry, this is the main channel. It's not my puny little channel where I can say whatever I want and delete it.
Oh yeah, you have a reputation of doing that. Getting all weird and crazy like werewolves do. You change into like entertaining John, and then all of a sudden you delete it. So nobody can have nobody will never know it existed.
You only get one dose of juicy fun John.
Watch, somebody's gonna like record it, and next thing you know, it's gonna upload them to like some other channel, and then those are gonna go viral, millions of views, and you're gonna be like, what?
Good, I'll be really happy for that person.
Yeah.
Hope they can bring those millions of views to the bank and cash it. You know what I'm saying?
Murder barrel.
So I was gonna say I have a lot of irrigation experience. If you want me to give you my portfolio and my resume, I put in over 3 miles of pipes. I know how to lay a pipe. If you know what I'm saying.
Well, I'm gonna need to learn all of that stuff because I'm going into it and I'm going to be making videos, not showing people how to do it, but trying to learn it myself. And then hopefully in a few years, I'll be like, all right, now I know how to do it. Now I'm going to give you the tutorial. But right now it's just like, hey, we're just going to kind of learn how to do this, how to do that,
That's a great idea. Call Janitor John if you get lost, and he'll muscle his way through just about anything.
Oh, man.
Hey, speaking of Sherry, she made me this box, or got it for me a million years ago, and I have it to store my guitar picks in.
I said her name once, like an hour ago.
I know.
John, stop thinking about your ex. No, just kidding.
Let's let's find out where she is these days. Zoom in, enhance.
Algebra is super helpful. I bet it is.
I was very good with calculus, believe it or not. A dummy like me. Calculus.
Calculi. You got to change that metric to the that standard American.
Yeah, we're better than everybody, so we make our own units of measurement so that nobody knows what we're talking about. Did they have anything to do? You probably know this. Did it have anything to do with like the war?
I don't know. I don't want to say that I don't know for sure, but probably we became sovereign and independent, and we wanted to stray away from England.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if we were like, we're going to call something an inch, because if we're like, Bill, we are 2,486 inches away from the target. And they don't know what that unit of... Hey, Chris, I am 4 units of measurement taller than you. And that could be a negative number. Who knows?
That would probably be in another like quantum universe, in another alternate reality where you're
my spine's more crooked than a politician, so I bet I'd be about 4 inches taller if she wasn't bending like a...
So what about is your brother taller than you?
Yeah. Well,
the one that looks like you.
We have different dads. My mom was chief.
Oh. Somebody saw your brother in like the store and thought it was you, right? Oh, I actually saw somebody the other night in Wegmans. Yes, last night I went in Wegmans, and she's like, hi, and I had no idea she was talking to me, and I just turned around. She goes, hi, I watched your show, and I'm like, oh, hi. And
she's like, yeah, Matlock, right?
Matlock? No. No, she, I guess she was at the Syracuse Veg Fest back in October a couple years ago, 2019. Remember that? That was fun. We didn't have it last year. That was really fun.
What was fun? I wasn't listening. I was watching the chat.
The Syracuse Veg Fest.
Oh, that was a lot of fun.
It was, and I had bagel bars.
It was a lot. It was really cool because we had Mockingbird there. The vegan zombie was there. It's like, man,
he was.
It's cool to be a big part of Syracuse, and veganism. And
Teddy Eddie was there with his burgers. I grabbed 2.
I didn't have any.
I did. Because I missed everything else, and that was the only thing left, and I tried it, and I was like, it was super good, so I went back and I bought another one.
I am negative 4 inches taller than you, dude, so you better watch it.
Are you really? Negative 4 inches.
What are you, 6'2"?
No.
You're 6 foot even.
Yeah.
Brian, your brother Brian's 6 foot even.
Yeah, we're all the same height.
You know what's crazy though? I didn't realize how much smaller I was than Brian until we were in college. I lived with him for a couple of years. And I'm not talking about naked. I'm talking fully clothed. And I look over and I realize when I'm talking to Brian, I'm looking up at him. I'm like, dude, I am a small guy. I'm a small fry. I'm Mac from Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Is your dad taller than you? You are Mac, aren't you?
Yeah, he's like 5'9". I am Mac. Dude, whatever. He beats Mike Tyson, so...
My parents are both shorter than me, like by a lot. So I'm wondering, like, how me and my brothers are all the same height pretty much. They all say I'm a little bit taller, but it doesn't seem like it.
You know, and the thing about Pat is...
Maybe we were adopted.
Pat, well, you know what's weird? I feel like you look a lot like...
Pat, but Brian doesn't look like either of us.
Yeah, Brian's got more... It's weird.
Brian looks like my grandpa.
Yeah.
Do you know my grandpa?
Dude, I know your whole family.
Oh. Did you meet my grandpa?
I don't really know. No. Maybe not. Back in 85.
I mean, you might have met
the Bears were in the Super Bowl. And
Raiders, everybody had a Raiders jacket when
it was Sloppy Joe Saturday, and your grandpa was there, and he doesn't like the pickles. So I met him. I was 4.
True Master says you were my inspiration in becoming vegan in a video you did in 2014. Do you remember what video we did in 2014? That's when we did our cookbook tour.
Yeah. That is when we did our cookbook tour. We did a lot of videos in 20. We also went on a cruise that year with Issa.
That's the year we did that?
Yeah, that was the same year we did.
Oh my god.
We did the cookbook release a year before in what? It was 2013, right?
No, I think it was 2014, wasn't it? 2014. So 2015 must have been when we went on the cruise.
I didn't have the house yet. I moved into the house in 2015.
You're right. It was 2014. We did the first cruise. We did 3 cruises total, right? Or was it 4?
Oh, the Philly cheesesteak was the video, by the way, to go back to the chat.
Oh my God, that was such a good...
I texted you when I was testing that recipe. I'm like, dude, I'm ready for the next video. We got something.
We didn't know what to call it, and we did a contest, and we said, name our Philly cheesesteak, and we'll use the name, and we'll shout you out and everything, and we'll put you in the video. And everybody, it came down to 3, and like... What were the other 2? But anyway, somebody came up with No Killy Philly, and that's what we called it, the No Killy Philly.
That was a good one.
The No Killy Philly. And then it turned out the guy that named it, when we said, hey, you won, and he's like, oh, and he had no idea he won. And he wasn't even vegan, and he's just like, I just saw it and named it. But I like the name, No Killy Philly. It's in our cookbook.
Well, I didn't know that he wasn't vegan until just now, so the story is forever ruined for me. Yeah. But... Remember the guy that would always like give us negative comments, and then one day, like I would respond to every single comment, because back then, we only had a certain amount of videos, and it's impossible to do nowadays. But I would comment on every one, and he'd always have these negative comments, and instead of being like, "Hey man, you're a jerk" or something, I would just like. I would just be like, well, hey, if you do this, and if there's anything else I can help you with and everything. And then he finally commented back. He's like, you know what? I've been such a jerk to you guys, and you always say nice things, and I'm going to give you a follow. I'm going to give you a follow, and I'm going to go vegan. And I was like, boom, right there. That was like one of the best comments. Yeah, normally that's not how it ends up. Normally it's like it just turns into something terrible, and both parties feel bad. and remember the other dude, It's Minute Maid? He would always like have criticism for us. Oh my gosh, the fact that we even remember that is crazy. Well, he had that one video that got millions of views, and I just went to look who he was, and he did a video where he said, "What happens to a banana if I put it in a microwave?" And he's like, "Well, let's find out." And he opens the microwave and he puts a banana in and he closes it and he sits there and he just looks. He never turns the microwave on. He opens it up and he pulls it out. He goes, well, doesn't look like anything happened. And there you have it. And that was it. That was his video, 30 seconds long.
And so I looked at some of the videos. I saw that video, and then he was like giving us some like criticism on some of our videos, just giving us like a hard time. And I said like, hey man, we all can't put bananas in microwaves all day. And he's like, touche.
That was a really clever video though.
It got like, I don't know, 5-10 million views.
Because you really want to know what happens when you put
like,
a banana.
I don't know why I'm here at 4 a.m, but I really want to know what happens to this banana.
Didn't say he was going to turn it on.
So what else? What else is new? I feel like, how long have we been streaming here? 50 minutes. It doesn't seem like it. We just started talking and we go from laser tag to bananas and microwaves.
Well, the thing is, like, we don't ever talk anyway. So when we're streaming right now, but it's also like, so what did you do yesterday?
Well, yeah, we haven't. Well, what did you do?
Well, I know what I did yesterday. Oh, I ripped a fan. So can we talk about the fan that we pulled out of your wall yesterday? By the way, the power cable was melted. So I thought I was gonna die. I was like, Chris, can we turn all the power off?
We turned all the power off, and you're like in on it. And then you look over, you're going, Chris, your stove is still on, and I'm like, oops. I'll tell you that the Chancey did write me back, and this is what he said. I don't know if I know what this means, but he said they make a jumbo vent block. Hit me up tomorrow.
Oh, well,
it's already out, but
yeah, you know what I was thinking we do? We just take some of the this is typical janitor John. Here's what we're gonna do, Chris. The screened in area, we're gonna take 3 pieces of siding over there because nobody looks over there, and we're gonna cut them up. We're gonna completely replace those 3 pieces. I went back into normal John voice in the middle of that. We just have to find a close color to match, and we'll put it down in the screen room where nobody looks.
There we go.
Whose problem is it now, Chris?
Problem solved.
Whose problem is it now?
And then we don't need the siding?
You might, well, no, you would still need the siding, but you don't if it doesn't match. If whatever we find from the Lowe's Depot doesn't match.
We'll just get like some that definitely doesn't match, so it looks like Minecraft or something. We'll put it up there, and we'll just leave it like that, and we'll know that there was at one point duct tape over there, but now it's colorful siding.
Yes. I do have an idea about tile underneath your microwave.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think it'll be...
Are you coming here on Sunday or Monday or Tuesday?
I don't know what day right now, just because Janelle just had surgery today.
Okay.
And so I'm doing everything at the farm as much as I can.
All right, yeah, just let me know.
But I do want to come out. What I was thinking is I get the lights fixed on my Jeep. I just stay there a full night until we get a bunch of stuff done.
Yep.
I fixed it so that it didn't...
I mean, there's really nothing else we need. We just need that one light fixture, and the fixture you took home with you, and that's pretty much...
Well, if you want to like completely cover up that tile area, like where the tape was,
yeah, I do.
We do want to get like a small piece of drywall. We want to take some of the old tile out, buy some replacement tile. That's gonna take some time.
Yeah, I have drywall, but yeah.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Or we can just put duct tape over it. I don't really care.
No more duct tape. We've done that for 11 years. It's time to be new.
Okay.
To be new and not have duct tape over it. I just want to go on what Killer Queen said, because when I worked at Sheetz, we would microwave green peppers for hot subs because they would throw off sparks. I just want to say, yeah, Sheetz that's like a gas station that has all this food. I was like, oh my God. Like whenever I would go through Pennsylvania, I would stop at Sheetz, and you can order right on the gas pump, like anything you wanted. And, they have all this food there. I just thought that was amazing.
But it's not vegan though, right?
Well, I think they have vegan stuff there that you can get. Like they have like pretzels and fries and stuff.
Okay.
But Killer Queen would know better than I would.
I drove past the Sheetz on the way home from Savannah at the beginning of October, and we wanted to go, but I was like,
how was that anyway?
Savannah?
Savannah, yeah.
Let me tell you something, Chris. It was great.
And there you have it, folks. It was great. Monica, I don't have the piano until I move into the new house.
A real piano?
Yeah, they're leaving it. Well, I was promised things in this house too that when I finally got here, it wasn't there anymore. So as far as I know, there's a piano, but at the same time, if they ended up selling to somebody, they came and got it, then there's no piano. But I don't know how they'd even get that out of there. It was almost like it was built right into the basement. But anyway, so what were you just saying?
Me?
Yeah.
What was I saying?
Yeah, what were you just saying? Bring that short-term memory back.
I was saying, what I was saying just a second ago was,
and there you have it.
Just a couple of seconds ago, I was saying that, I'm sorry, I'm trying to think about Sheets and what's vegan there, because I'm hungry.
Maybe
that's what I was talking about. Tell us
what's vegan there. Killer Queen says there are vegan things. It's like Subway, but with bread and roll, not cake. But bread for a roll and not cake. Is the bread vegan there? Because that would be awesome to know all this, because I usually stop there for gas, because it's like a halfway point usually when I'm going somewhere. I used to live in D.C. I used to live in Arlington, and I would literally come home here at least once a month. And it was exactly a 6-hour drive, 400 miles. I would always stop at Sheets. And I was, I'm a creature of the night. So I would leave at about 8 at night if I was going there, because I want to get into DC area where it's very populated, really, really late at night, like 2 a.m, somewhere around there. But if I was coming home, I would leave DC around midnight and then get here really early in the morning, because otherwise you're going to take a 6-hour drive and you're going to make it like 8 or 9.
That traffic is awful.
Traffic.
Yeah.
My chaps.
Every time I have to drive through DC, I'd get stuck. But I went to visit you a couple of times when you lived down there.
Did you visit me when I lived down there, or did you visit me when we were just visiting down there?
No, you lived down there. I watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, you did. Because I remember you opened the door and you're like, dude, I hug everybody else, but we don't hug.
Yeah, have we ever hugged?
We've never hugged. We've never shook hands. It's weird. Because anytime you see somebody else that you haven't seen forever, it's like, hey man, how's it going? Or like, hey, fist bump. And it's like us. It's like, John, Chris.
You know what's weird? I don't hug my family. And I feel like
I don't either.
That's kind of like, you're kind of like my family, I don't hug Brian either, or Pat. Yeah. Although Pat does try to beat me up if he drinks a little too much.
Yeah, Pat, yeah.
Brian doesn't. He gets silly.
I made a video 2 Christmases ago because I found old footage.
Christmas. It's a plural.
Christmas, yeah.
Christmases.
And there was a video of me back in 1995, and I was totally different then. I didn't like the camera on me. I was being a jerk Christmas morning. I'm like, get the camera off me. And then my mom's like, they gave me a brand new camcorder. It was one of those big ones that goes over your shoulder like this. And she's like, can I have a hug? And I'm like, if you turn the camera off. And then my dad kept it on and she tried to give me a hug. And I'm just like, ugh. Like, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. And then, so 2 years ago when I wanted to redo that, and I didn't tell them why, but I love doing then and now videos. Yeah. So I took my camera, I set it down, and I was ready to leave for the night. We were all over at my parents', the whole family. We were doing Christmas, and I put the camera there without them knowing, and I'm like, Mom and Dad, come here. I want a hug. And they're like looking at each other like, Chris doesn't do hugs. Chris never does hugs. And I'm like, and my mom really looked at me. She goes, is everything okay? And I'm like, Mom, give me a hug. And I gave her a hug. I gave my dad a hug. And I put that video before and after, and it shows me in 1995, and then it shows me like 25 years later, and the difference between like not giving a hug to being like, Mom, Dad, because like you grow up and you're like, why was I like that? You never know. You always got to.
Because you're like, Mom, I'm a grown up now. I don't hug.
Don't hug. Yeah.
You know what's funny? Somebody was asking about like how buying vegan cheeses and vegan replacements, and back in the day when we first went vegan, they didn't really have a lot of options, so it was easy to avoid all of the junk food. How do you avoid the junk food now, Chris? And not just junk food, but like, cheeses and all that, because you're more of a Whole Foods type vegan.
Not as of late, and I want to get more to that. And I have been eating a lot of processed junk food, and it's delicious, and it's hard not to eat it. But at the same time, like, I want to eat better.
That bums me out because we don't hang out anymore, and we could be eating all of this gross vegan food together.
I know, and having mukbangs and stuff. But what I really plan on doing is once I get in the new house and I get all these gardens grown, and I plan on doing tons of stuff with that, and doing my own crops and harvesting everything and start eating really good food. So.
Yeah, well, we'll do it together because I don't have as much land as you, but I really wanted to do that this year, and it's too hard. Mockingbird is.
I feel usable land you do because the rest of my land is all forest, which is unfortunate.
Good point. And I'm actually going to be digging up a lot of these trees that are they're planted way too close together, and that's going to free up even more space for.
There's an area because I'm not sure exactly how much land it goes out to. I'm only sure of like the immediate land. Where they did the survey. And if there's more land going out behind the house that's not going up the hill, I also want to do what you're saying, maybe clear out some trees there and maybe have usable land. And use the trees for firewood and stuff. There's a fireplace there. There's some fire pits and that's stuff that I can't do in a residential area like I live now. And I grew up doing that. I love doing that,
Well, you know what we should do?
Turn into a lumberjack.
We should make the Ewok village.
Oh, Gondor, right? Gondor?
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Yeah, I was thinking Endor, but
Endor. You're right.
Okay, Endor. Yeah, dude, Gondor. We have wooden bridges going from tree to tree, and inside, around the tree, is a nice little hut. And then when people come, we're like, "Awooga!" And then I swing from a vine, and the vine breaks, and I fall, and I die right in front of them.
You got to wear a wicket suit when you're doing it, though.
Okay.
Those are probably warm too. Tofu and seitan. Those sound good. They are. I had some tofu tonight. I don't always eat. I drink smoothies are really healthy, and I drink smoothies most days.
I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich today. Oh, listen, I had a tofurkey sandwich for lunch though, Chris.
Okay.
And there was only 3 slices of tofurkey left, and I had more lettuce than I had tofurkey. But I just wanted to say, I was eating my tofurkey sandwich at the farm, and I was like, man, why don't I eat this every day? I'm going to be on a little tofurkey sandwich kick, I think.
They're good. You put a little bit of a Good Planet cheese or Follow Your Heart cheese on that.
See, yeah, that's where I was struggling. I was like, what kind of cheese do I want to buy? And cheese, have you seen the cheese prices? Cheese?
Oh my God.
It's like $5 a package.
Yeah, the tofutti cream cheese, that was like $2.99 or it's like $4.50 now.
I tell you, they don't make the cheese as cheap as they used to. I remember when cheese was 5 cents a slice.
Is that cheap? Yeah, that's cheap.
I guess. I mean,
you can make your own.
You can make your own.
To make your own when you're trying to make an Ewok village?
I do want to make my own cheese. That would be fun.
You're a little bit ahead of me on the Ewok village because you already have a tree fort.
What if we build a... I don't have anything cool to say. I'm just going to recant that. We live too far away. That's the problem. 2 hours is too far.
You want to know one of the coolest dreams I had when I was growing up is and I knew it was a dream while I was doing it. So I'm like, please don't wake up. I had a dream. I was getting ready. So I was probably in middle school. I had a dream. I was getting ready to go to school and I had one of the Voltron lions and I got out and I got in it. Do you know how cool that would have been? And I'm like walking it down the street with my friends and I'm like, yep, I'm in the lion. At any moment now I could go up and fly, but I'm in my lion. I think it was Red Lion. And, Voltron was my favorite thing back then. That's all I got to say. My dream, I knew I was dreaming. I'm like, let's see what I can do before I wake up. And then, of course, I woke up. I'm like, oh, go back to sleep. My alarm clock's going off. I'm like, no, I don't want to go to school.
Do you ever wake up from a dream and then fall back asleep and go back into the dream?
Very rarely, but I have done it.
I've done it too. And I'm like, no way that just happened. Even in my dream, I'm like, I'm back here? Yes, and then I immediately forget, and I'm back in the dream. I
haven't done it in a long time, but I was able at one point in my life to do lucid dreaming, which means you can control your dreams. And I know this was stupid, but there are a couple of things that I was able to control. One of them, I was on a basketball court, and I don't play basketball. I mean, I don't mind it, but I don't ever play it. And I was on a basketball court, and I'm like, and I knew that I was dreaming. So I'm like, I can do whatever I want in this dream. So I grabbed the basketball like this, and I was holding it, and I just went like that from full court. And I looked over, and I made the basket. The other one is I had some cardboard wings, and I was like, I should be able to fly if I can control my dream. I was in my parents' backyard, and sure enough, I started flying around. I'm like, oh my God, don't wake up, don't wake up. And I'm flying around. It was awesome.
Flying. Yeah. Flying is cool. Breathing underwater is pretty cool too. I'm like, dude, how am I breathing right now? I'm like 4 feet underwater. And I'm like, I'm just going to go with it. And then I wake up and I can't, I try in the bathtub and I almost drown every time.
Every time. Let's look at some of these questions here. I don't know if they're questions or just comments here. Kelvin and Hobbs. Have I ever heard of I Am Lucid? No. Is that a YouTuber? Poor man's cheese. Lucid dreaming is very difficult. Yeah, I don't know. What else is did you harvest all your food from your garden and your trees?
Yes, everything has been harvested. A lot of stuff didn't make it this year.
Now, what about the stuff that grew on the trees, like the fruits? Were you able to get all of it?
No. We got so much water out here that the Asian pears didn't fruit. Some of the apples were okay, but a lot of them got diseased. The
what were those long blueberry things?
Honeyberry. Those were good. Those are good.
What was the coolest thing you made with some of your, like, did you make pies or anything?
I didn't get enough honeyberry to make I was just like mostly eating with breakfast.
Like anything that did you have apple trees and all that stuff or no?
There are apples in the fridge right now that Kristen says she's going to make a pie with, but
nice.
We'll see. My parents made applesauce with some of the apples in the yard. I thought that was pretty cool. But what was that?
I was just going to tell you a story, but go ahead.
I was just going to say most of the time, whenever like the berries were ready, we were just out there like picking it and eating it right in the garden.
Right. When I was little, we went up in where the woods are, but it's all developmental area now. But it was woods, and I would go up there with a basket with my friends, and we found all these like blackberries and stuff, raspberries. I don't know, blackberries, I think. And we just filled buckets and buckets and we took them home, and my mom made a pie, and she had no idea how to make a pie with that. She had never done it, but she's like, I can probably make a pie. And she did. And the neighbors came over and we all had blackberry pie. It was good. And I just remember that story. We had so many of them, and I had never done it since.
So when I was working for Quebeca Farms, there was this field right by the thruway. And it was like a 10-minute tractor drive. We would all just sit on the back of on the trailer. The tractor would pull us, and we'd go pick the corn. Well, on the way back, we passed these, like, the whole row of corn's worth of blackberry bushes, dude. I'm talking the size of your thumb.
Now, were they there? Were they planted purposely, or did they just happen to grow there? Like, did they harvest them to sell them?
No, we didn't. The farm didn't, and I'm pretty sure that there was just like a hedge of wild blackberries. But either way, I would jump off, run as far as I could ahead of the tractor before it would catch up to me, and just like fill my shirt up with blackberries and just like eat them on the drive. And I was vegan back then too, so like
that's a nice healthy
real treat, a real treat.
That's awesome.
I'm still vegan now.
Oh, that was back when you were vegan?
Yeah, that was back when I was vegan. I didn't know anything about life back then. You can't be vegan for a long time, Chris, or your lungs will fall off.
Yeah, I've had that too. Sleep paralysis. It's scary.
Oh, it is scary. I hate that.
Some of my scariest stories are because of that. And back when it first happened to me, I thought I was being possessed. That's how scary it was.
Have you ever broken free from it?
Yeah.
And thought you were free, but then got it back, and you're like,
I actually got up and looked around, and then when I laid back down, I was immediately paralyzed again. Like, explain that.
Nope, I'm not explaining it. Probably because you're not vegan, or because you are vegan.
It's scary.
You need B12 and you need protein, Chris,
You
right
need
away.
That B12. You need that vitamin D also. That's important.
The thing is, I'm with so many farm animals every day that I get protein just by petting the animals.
Right.
And I get
L-cysteine, and then you lick it.
Grease all over my hands, and I just, oh.
I was telling my mom the other day things that somebody else brought it up. I didn't just like start saying it. Somebody else brought it up, and I just like knew the details of it. But I was like, things that aren't vegan, like, what is it? It's red 40 that is vegan, red 4 that's not vegan. And she's like, why? I'm like, because there's beetles in it. She's like, ew, disgusting. I go, well, do you know what's in, like, it's probably more so back when she was younger and when I was younger. But what was in, vanilla flavoring was castoreum, which comes from like down by the glands near the butt of a beaver. And then what's in a lot of bagels, including some of the bagels at Wegmans and some of the breads, is you always got to look for an ingredient called L-cysteine, because it's hair and feathers. Now you ask, like, why would that be an ingredient? But it's true. Look it up. L-cysteine is hair and feathers. And I don't know if it's human hair, but it's hair and feathers.
It's actually pubic hair.
It's funny because people say gross to all these things, but to me, it's no different than like milk coming out of the glands.
It's coming out of another animal, and you're eating it.
Oh yeah.
I watched a chicken lay an egg, and let me just tell you, it's gross.
Yeah. But people just eat that stuff.
People are just like, let's just crack it up, put it on, fry them up.
I can't even, like, when I see like a movie or somebody making eggs, it's just so disgusting.
Yeah. Like, at what point were we like, hey, you know what? That baby cow over there is drinking that out of that big cow's little things hanging down there. What if I go over there and poke her up and put my lips on that thing? You think it tastes delicious? And then you're like, I don't know, Ned. Why don't you go over and give it a try?
Why'd you call him Ned?
I don't know.
We were just talking about Ned Beatty the other night. We were talking about Deliverance.
John, Ned, Ted.
John, Ned, Ted. John, Bob, Frank, Ted. Oh, man. The hair and the feathers, L-cysteine.
Oh, D-Rabbit. I'm going to, I haven't.
First, y'all Mockingbird, check out and get in contact with Vine Sanctuary yet?
Sanctuary.
What's Vine Sanctuary?
No, D-Rabbit told me about it a long time ago, and I never did it. Because I'm a jerk.
More strange things that have happened at my house. Well, I mean, the sleep paralysis is one of them. At this house, yeah, just weird little. When I was renting it out to the last person I rented my house out to, she called me. She texted me and said, "This is a weird question, but does anything weird ever happen here?" And I'm like, "Uh-oh." I'm like, "What?" Instead of saying yes, I was just like, "What happened?" She goes, "I'm the only one here, and it sounds like somebody's running up and down the stairs like hard footsteps. Boom, 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 boom." I'm like, "Oh, it's probably just the wind." That's like the the generic response to like, "I just saw a ghost." That was probably just the wind.
I was so freaked out at your house when you were staying or you were in LA for a week and a half.
Now, did I had you come over here and stay here, or was that when you lived here? John actually used to live here.
I was staying there with Indy.
What happened? What did you hear here?
It wasn't. I didn't hear anything. It's just a feeling of dread in the basement. So every single time I had to do a load of laundry, or I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna wear these underwear for the 9th day in a row. I don't even care. Because I'm not doing laundry downstairs where that weird picture is, because the kid's going to come out of the frame and get me.
Grab your ankles.
And even Indy, I'm like, Indy, you're coming down with me.
There.
Yeah, I made him.
Neither one of them. Oh, you did?
Yeah. I go, Indy, you go first.
It's weird because I've I'm like the opposite. Like I'm the kind of person, like I find it a challenge if I see something or feel something scary. And I think I'm very skeptical. So I can't even really say I believe, but if I were to believe that was going on at my house, then my explanation, because other people feel it too. And when they come over here and people have, died here. And, so I guess that makes it like the element of scary, and then that painting over there. So the way I explain it, whether I'm really joking or if I actually believe it a tiny bit, is that, whatever it is has completely accepted me here at the house. And now that I'm trying to move, everything's going wrong because they don't want me to leave and they don't want somebody new to come in, because literally not much happens here while I'm here now. Because when it does, I don't react to it. And, I'll go downstairs in the middle of the dark. John, you're scaring me, man.
Sorry.
But yeah, like I feel like for instance, I haven't really had too many things wrong with the house. And then I'm like, hey, John, could you come over and help me with a couple things? And it's like, you came over to fix one thing and you're like, well, now the dishwasher's broken, the washer's broken, this is broken. It's like, yeah, whatever force is here, it's like literally saying, you're not leaving this house.
Oh, so the ghost loves you but hates me. Get this idiot out of here.
So I don't know. Yeah. Jacob wants to, I actually, because I was cleaning and Jacob was down in the other room, I took good old Jacob. I looked at him. I'm like, hey, little buddy. And I put him back where I found him. I put him in the exact same place that I found him, behind the water heater in the furnace. And I turned it around so you can't see it anymore. And I'm like, I'm leaving the house, and Jacob stays here. And so does the chair, by the way. The chair stays here too.
What about the murder witch? Where does she go?
I don't really have, dominion over her. So,
see, I had the murder witch in my last house. My basement now, I get no bad vibes from it. There's not a place in this house that I get nervous like I did in my last house and I did at your house. It's just a weird feeling. I do get weird feelings when I'm outside though, because I'm like,
oh, that weird fenced in area, the caged in area.
It's gone now.
Oh.
Yep. Got rid of it.
Oh.
Scrapped her, Chris. I scrapped it.
How come you did that?
It was rusty and I don't know. It was like falling apart. It was really gross. I would have been great for laser tag if I'm being honest.
D-Rabbit, like that's the video I was actually thinking about pulling out of the archive and editing, is our bread video that we did back in 2012 that I never posted.
I know, that was funny. You just leave it in there.
I'm going to post it. Yeah. Whether it's a good recipe or not, it's just going to be like an old vintage video.
I'm sure you have a lot of stuff that you could probably scrape together like a dozen videos from all that. Oh my God,
if I went back to some of the old things and I just like took clips and then you and I responded to it, because we were so different then, or were we? It was just like 10 years ago. I mean, we've been doing this forever.
Yeah, but life was a lot different back then.
Oh yeah,
life was a lot different back then.
You had a lot to. You were the face of the channel. It's like.
Ugh. Nope.
You're like,
glad I'm not that anymore.
I don't want to do this anymore.
I don't want to be the face of anything.
The e-pastry cookie dough video. That's probably the most awkward video I've ever seen.
Well, dude, I mean.
But that's not even the funniest one. The funniest one was when we were doing the corn dog video, and we were doing it at the church that your dad was friends with. And so John had a lav mic on, okay? So he had a mic connected right here that would hear everything he said. And I could only hear, when I was editing the video and I put my headphones on, I could hear everything John said, everything he whispered. And I would say like, all right, wait, we got to do the scene again. And he turned over and he's like, he said something. He's like, I don't know what he said. He's like, Jesus Christ, Chris, what the? He's like, and I didn't hear him when he said it in person, but when I had to edit it, I heard everything he said. So I'm like, what the heck? You said a lot of things like that I never heard.
Yeah. Sometimes I did it as a joke, but sometimes that was because I was just frustrated.
I think most of it was a joke. that I just didn't hear. That you knew I would hear later.
Yeah. And like, I remember we even joke and be like, what if I forgot to edit that out? You said some really nasty things.
You're like, well, I'd be done.
Well, hey, John, the good news is the channel went viral. The bad news is you probably should move.
Christopher. No, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
So here's the thing. We have a place called Chrissy Mike's Pizzeria. And the rumor is that nobody calls you Chrissy Mike. And if somebody does call you Chrissy Mike, everybody stops what they're doing and you turn around and you go, Nobody calls me Chrissy Mike. Yeah, exactly.
Nobody calls me Chrissy Mike.
What do you think about that?
What do you think about that? That's like it's like Cheers, but it's like that's how it opens, or it's like a
hey,
sitcom.
Why? So how come nobody says Chrissy Mike here? All of a sudden, the music shuts up. People stop eating mid bite.
People are watching it from their homes, and they're like, "Oh, Dale, watch what he says now. He just said it. Nobody calls me. Watch what's going to happen." And then,
I don't know what would happen. Something funny should happen.
Something funny, yeah.
We pour hot tomato sauce all over him.
No. Hello. Thank you for the super chat there. And with the little black cat. I appreciate it. Texture and filler, probably. They use sawdust to get more profits. Huh?
What are we talking about?
I know. I'm like coming in the conversation a little bit.
We just jumped in mid. We get so caught up in our own dumb conversation, we miss half the chat.
Meow. There were zombies everywhere every time we tried to cook. We had fun with that. That was a fun thing. It was like to do what we really wanted to do. It was just so, it was time consuming and costly. And you always had to rely on a bunch of people to get together. Because my last one I played myself, I played zombie number 1, and I played zombie number 2. And I got my poor old dad to stand in the middle of a cornfield in the mud while he was getting eaten by mosquitoes. Like, Dad, we got to take this scene one more time. Okay, Dad, I screwed up again one more time. Okay, Dad, this is the last time.
Poor Dad.
Yeah. But he had fun, and he's always saying like, yeah, I taught him everything he knows, and yeah, anytime you need some help, just ask me. So, I'm like, you know what? I felt like it meant a lot to him that I asked him to help me film that video. That was the pumpkin cinnamon roll recipe that I did.
There's definitely a lot of your dad in you for sure. Like,
yeah,
like the photography. He was always doing fun stuff. Like he took a Star Wars quote and made a little picture of me. I have it somewhere. Kenobi. Yeah. Like he was super creative when it came to stuff like that.
He's always been super creative like that. And me and my dad my dad and I are the only ones in my family that are sentimental. So the rest of my family could care less if there was something that was like nostalgic or something. They'd be like, and I'm like, no, give me it. This will be cherished forever. Although he did throw away my ET mask last year. I was like, Dad, do you know that was an original ET mask that you bought for $22 at Sears? He goes, how'd you know that? I'm like, because you said it was $22. He goes, yeah, but that was back in 1982. I'm like, Dad, I remember. And he's like, he starts laughing because I remember all these crazy things that they're like, how do you remember that?
How did you remember that? Did you tell him?
I remember everything. I remember things.
Well, did you find the ET mask in the garbage?
No, it was too late. He said he did it like a week earlier.
Tom.
Yeah. But I did find a briefcase in my garage as I was going through things. And this was my like crypto briefcase, my spy briefcase. And when I opened it up, well, let's just say I've got a whole story of stuff I want to tell you guys about in another live stream. Don't let me forget, because the briefcase, I was going to throw it away in the dumpster, and I'm like, because it's half falling apart anyway. And I'm like, you know what? Before I throw it away, I'm going to tell you guys a story, because it's got all the original things from when I was like 9 years old. And I have a story for you. So
what is it? Your first kill kit?
Yeah, it's my first Dexter kit.
Dude, there's a new Dexter coming out. It looks like it's gonna be pretty good.
I know.
Pretty good.
I think did the first episode already air?
I just saw the preview. I didn't see the
preview. And you know what else I wanted to see? I don't know if anybody out there have seen it yet, but I wanted to see the prequel series for The Sopranos.
Oh.
Yeah. Where James Gandolfini's actual son in real life plays him.
Chris, can I ask you something?
No.
Are they making... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Ask me now.
Okay. I just wanted to know if I could ask you something.
Yes.
That was the question.
Oh my God, I was such a dick one time. Tell me this and I'll tell you a story.
Okay. So are they making another Top Gun movie?
Oh my God, I vaguely remember hearing something about that. I sure hope not.
I feel like I'm kind of excited to have all these movies be revamped. If it's
Iron Eagle?
If it's the original actor playing, dude, how did it feel when you saw Han Solo after 30 years?
It was amazing seeing it, but then after
you were totally let down.
They did do it.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my God, Han Solo! I'm like, how could you do this? Look what you did to people.
It's almost like what they did to Indiana Jones. They did the same. They must have something against Harrison, Mr. Ford, because Indiana Jones and the stupid Skull Mountain, whatever. Come on, that is not Indiana Jones. I'm talking.
Well, apparently it was the Crystal Skull. I didn't realize it either, but apparently it was. Those were the original books that they wrote a long time ago.
Aliens.
Yeah. The Crystal Skull.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, but still, it is kind of far-fetched. I mean, Dr. Jones and the what would he say? Mate, no, not Mate. What is it? Kuma? No, I'm thinking Bloodsport. Mate, Kumite. What did he say when he tried to cover up his heart?
Oh, Kalima. And the other guy's like, "There's no home Shivai, no home Shivai, no home Shivai, no home Shivai."
I still remember his face, and that traumatized me in a good way. Does anybody ever said that? But that traumatized me as a kid because I remember focusing just on that. I would focus on things like that in movies, and and there's a scene in the Ewok movie where one of the Ewoks died, and all I kept asking is that Ewok dead? He died? They're not going to bring him. He's dead.
I know what exact part you're talking about too.
And I couldn't stop thinking about it. Those kind of things, you know.
Dude, when that Ewok dies, and then the other Ewok looks and he goes,
"Oh my God!"
Yeah. Oh, and it does a little.
Yeah.
Man, it got me, buddy. I totally feel that part.
Oh my God! When Optimus Prime died, I cried.
You're probably gonna cry right now.
I cried. I don't think I didn't cry at the beginning because watching Transformers as a kid, you see all these iconic Transformers, none of them ever die. And in the first 10 minutes of the movie, Brawn died.
Bro, spoiler alert, dude. Jeez.
Oh, yeah. Spoiler alert from 35 years ago, 40 years ago. Anyway, they were all dying, and I was just like, Brawn? No way Brawn dies. And he died, all these other ones died, and I'm like, I can't believe they all died. This can't be real. They can put them back together, right? No, they're dead. And then all of a sudden Optimus Prime against Megatron, and I'm like, oh my God, don't die, Prime. You're not gonna really die, Prime. No, Prime. And then he dies, and he goes gray, and I'm like, oh God,
no,
I wasn't ready for this.
No. Oh, speaking of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, I kind of want another one of those.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, I eat them
rarely,
very rarely. But when I do, it's because I'm really, you know what? I'm craving a peanut butter and jelly, and I make one, and it's the best thing for the first couple bites.
And then you don't want it anymore?
No, it's I had my peanut butter and jelly, and it's, we're good.
Oh, okay.
I don't need another one for a few months.
Okay.
But yeah, I get it. A peanut butter and jelly. Well, I don't know what your schedule is like, but we should probably cut this to the end.
Yeah. I got a lot to do at the farm tomorrow and other things and blah, 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 blah.
An hour and a half, and it didn't even seem like it.
Well, it was fun. And I really kind of want to, I don't know, try to do something together where we can be entertaining and cover topics. Like there's some questions about, people being vegan on a budget. We both been vegan for a long ass
like
time. So
oh yeah, a long
I
time.
feel like we both been through a lot of different scenarios where like, we both went through college as vegans, and I was on like a pasta sauce and spaghetti and pasta sauce diet for a long time while I was in college. But I don't know. I really like hanging out, so we should try to do this again sometime. What do you say? Well, maybe I should invite myself over.
Yeah, like I'll go on your show sometime too. Maybe don't come over here, dude. Yeah, but maybe we should try to do this. I don't know if you want to do it every week or if you want to do it like twice a month. It's it's cool whenever you want to.
I have no friends here, and as long as there's not an animal that needs me, I'm available.
Yeah, because I think we can come up with a lot of things to talk about, like where normally, yeah, I'm just like, what's the next question? So
yeah,
I don't know. It's been fun. So
yeah,
let me know when you're going to come out here so we can put another hole in the wall or patch it up.
What else can Janitor John break at Chris Cooney's house?
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. I will. I guess I'm gonna hang up now, and I'll see y'all. I think maybe I'll be going live tomorrow on my channel. So
okay.
So maybe I'll see some of y'all tomorrow. Maybe I'll see Chris sometime next week.
And if, by the way, anybody that's just seeing John for the first time, his channel is the Vegan Homestead. And if you just go over to my main channel, he'll be on the featured channel over on the right-hand side. So everybody have a great night. Watch out for zombies. Thanks for coming on the show. And we'll see you guys